Okay, hello everyone. We are not in the horse corner today. Where on earth are we, you might be asking? And Sam, what on this earth are you doing? Well, originally this month I was going to film a YouTube video discussing the 3 live shows that I am going to in April. And at the end of the first one, I realized that if I had to make another video talking about live model horse showing, I was probably going to go insane. Between my masterclass series, with those being hour-and-a-half videos that I voiced over, edited, constructed all last month, and my last getting ready to prep for a live show with me YouTube video, I simply could not. I could not do another one. I was going to go insane. So as you can see today, I am taking you guys along with me while I play Star Stable, something that I have not been doing for very long at all. So I'm pretty much just going to let this stream run while I talk about pretty much just the first few months of me experiencing this game, and I'll kind of provide some context as to why that's humorous. And you are welcome to laugh with and or at me as I do this, because I'm not a gamer, and there's a lot in here that will probably be very reflective of that. And if you can't laugh at yourself, man, I mean, come on. So without further ado, join me at the Equestrian Festival on Star Stable, and let's chat about it. Alright, so like I was saying, I have not been playing this game for very long. I literally know nothing. I am not a gamer. I don't play any other games. I have not played any kind of a video game, whether that's PC, console, tablet, phone, app, literally anything. Except maybe like a fancy version of Tetris that I have on my phone in the dire straits moments where I need something to do. But that is it since I was in middle school. So I'm going to age myself, but that's been over a decade. So I played a lot of like CD-ROM PC games when I was in middle school. I'm trying to remember even what any of them were called. I believe there was a Let's Go Riding series of like horse games that I played when I was in middle school. Again, I'm aging myself. CD-ROM games, like CDs that you would plug into a computer. And that was really my only experience with gaming. And again, that's been about a decade ago. So that's fun. And I was pretty much peer pressured into downloading this game. And I say peer pressure, nobody peer pressured me. The peer pressure was self-inflicted. But I have seen so many model horse hobbyists playing this game, both from afar and also lots of my personal hobby friends play this game and would talk about it on occasion. And I was like, you know, I think it would be healthy for me to have some kind of a creative outlet besides the model horse hobby, because right now the model horse hobby is really my only creative outlet, and a lot of that creativity is channeled through my business, which doesn't always feel as, you know, self-fulfilling. It's a very fulfilling endeavor in and of itself, but there's not a lot of things that I do for myself in the business. And obviously, you know, a game like this, you're just playing because you like it. That is the only goal. So I figured it could be a good creative outlet for me to get me detached in moments from the online model horse world. With the business, it is really easy for me to just kind of get very, very deep into it and stuck and not able to really focus on anything else. That's why they say, you know, maybe like don't turn your passions into an actual occupation or job. Anyways, it's all about balance, but all of that to say that this, I thought maybe could be a fun, creative outlet for me. outside of the model horse hobby, and even, more specifically outside of my model horse hobby business. So I downloaded the SSO phone app. You guys ready for this? The phone app back in like December, maybe just before Christmas. I know I unknowingly was on the app at like the very end of whatever the winter event is, the winter festival ? Because at one point, one of like my first days playing, I accidentally came across it and had literally no idea what was going on. I felt like I was galloping through like the Frozen movie set. Like I was very confused. Anyways, I've only had it for like maybe 2 months, and for the first, I've only been playing regularly for about 2 months, because for the first few months, I was playing from the phone app and I did not have the subscription yet, okay? You guys, you're gonna have to bear with me because my terms are gonna be all over the place because I don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm probably going to misspeak and mislabel things, and just take it with a grain of salt because, again, I have literally no idea what I'm doing. I am new here. So anyways, the first few months I was playing from my phone, and I just got through the stuff that you can do without the subscription, which I very quickly learned is not very much. And then I was like, well, I don't want to spend money on a game. And so I let it sit for a while, and that lasted maybe a few weeks. And then I was like, no, I think I do want to spend money on this game because that was fun and I would like to know a little bit more. So I signed up for the like lifetime membership sort of deal. And so now I have access to like all of it, all of the like map locations and all of the things, quests and otherwise. So I'm all in now. I guess I'm here for the long haul. And I want to say that was like beginning of March, end of February. So and we're mid-April now, so I've really only had like full access to everything in the game for a few months, and I still know nothing. I only about a month ago learned that there was a difference between side quests and the main quest. So for a couple of weeks, I was definitely just running around doing a bunch of side quests because I had no idea how to differentiate between a side quest and a main quest. And obviously now I have downloaded the game onto my laptop, which I have hooked up to a couple of monitors, so I can play in a more efficient and enjoyable way versus literally just having it on my phone. But I will say that I think it's super impressive. Again, I know nothing about games. I don't know if this is like a regular thing for other games, but to me, it's super impressive that I can play this game on any device. Like, I have this game downloaded, obviously I said like on my computer, on my phone, and on my iPad, and I can just put it down on one device and pick it up in another if I so choose. And again, I don't know if that's common for a lot of games, but I think that's so cool. I have never played a game where that's possible. So like, if I'm bored on my lunch break at work, I can log in to Star Stable and do Star Stable things for like, 15 minutes or whatever. Or if I'm on an airplane or on a road trip, and I have my tablet, which is a little bit of a bigger screen, but I don't want to bust out my laptop because space is limited, I can do that. I just think that's so cool. Anyways, that's probably like something that everyone that plays this game is like, well, duh, of course you can do that. But to somebody that's new, I think that's really cool. I also just recently, which is probably embarrassing, but it's fine, just recently learned about champs and how to do champs. And like, I think 3 or 4 days ago, I actually won my first champ, which was probably just blind luck. I really don't know. But I like understand the concept of champs and how to access them and run them. Thanks to the Equestrian Festival, I should add, because having that schedule set up at the Moreland location is literally the only reason why I figured out how to do champs. So that was helpful for me. And now I know how to do them, and it's addicting. It's a problem. Like I'll log in and that's all I want to do. Like, will I ever finish the quests? I don't know, because the races are so fun. Maybe I'll get sick of them. I don't know. I haven't been playing this game long enough to know anything, except for that the running the races and going fast is fun. One thing that I definitely do understand, and that wasn't super hard to understand, is kind of the currency and how like all of that works and the purchasing. And again, through the Equestrian Festival, I've been, exposed to like the special event currency, and that there's like special items that you can only get with special event currency, but you can sell those items for a different kind of currency, but not the type of currency that allows you to buy horses, and so on and so forth. There's only the one type of currency that allows you to buy horses, and then all the accessories, or most of them, you can buy with a different type of currency, which is different from the special event currencies. So I've got that under control. I do have 4 horses, and they all have outfits, and it's so fun. So the guy I'm riding around on here, I actually just got yesterday. Like this day, I believe, was the day that I recorded this, I believe was the first day that I had this horse. So he's the special from the event. I don't know if this is like a dappled rose gray or if it's supposed to be buckskin. I have no idea. But it's the Lipizan from the Equestrian Festival. And I had like planned an outfit for him before I even got him, because I was like, this horse looks like a badass like fantasy horse. I wanted to put him in like Baroque tack and make him look like you could ride him into freaking battle. So that's what I did. And it's so fun. And you can like theme your horses and pick out like outfits for them, and it seems like there's just a big focus on like and I'll use a phrase here that my husband likes to use about his games, because he is a gamer, and that's in-game aesthetics. He was like, you finally care about in-game aesthetics, and I was like, is that a phrase that like normal people use, or is that just a phrase that you made up? And I still don't have an answer to that, so you guys can tell me. But it's so fun, and that seems like it's a big focus of this game, is just like curating a look, I guess. And you can have a million different looks because you can have a million different horses. So like this guy, I put him in all black Baroque tack because I thought that was pretty badass, and he's pretty cool. And I gave him the roached mane because that's also pretty badass. And then alternatively, I have the like rose gray Lipizan, not this one, but the one that has like starred apples. And I dressed her up like a little springtime gal. And I put the little like floral saddle on her from this event, the floral Baroque saddle, and put like a bow in her tail and flowers in her saddlebag, and she just looks like she's ready to go to a picnic. And it's so fun, like how goofy and fun that you can put your horses in these little outfits. I don't know, I think it's cute. And again, to me, as somebody who doesn't game literally at all, so I have no comparisons, of this game compared to other games or baseline to go off from other games. But to me, this game feels like super cozy and fun, and like you can just gallop around in a magical forest on a horse if you so choose to do that. And like, if that's all you want to do, that's you can. And that's really cool. Like, you're not forced to do anything. You can do like all the quests if you want to. And I'm sure eventually I'll work through a lot of those, much more than I have at this point. But you don't have to. You don't have to if you don't want to. You can just like ride around and do chores and gain money and buy stuff and dress stuff up, and that can like be your entire experience if you want, which is really cool. And I know a big complaint that I've heard a lot of people say is that once you get through everything in this game, there's nothing to do. And I wholeheartedly believe that. But for somebody that just started playing again like 2 months ago, there's an overwhelming amount of stuff to do. And I'm sure that won't be the case when I've been playing for like years, if I play for years. But where I'm at right now, it just feels like I can choose to do literally whatever I want. Like I could do side quests, I could do the main quest, which I know does have like its limitations. You do have to wait for stuff sometimes in the main quest, but there's just so much to do. And lately I've just been doing all the Equestrian Festival activities, and I don't think I've touched any quests outside of the Equestrian Festival since it started, because, I mean, the time I put into this game is limited, so I've just been doing all the races and stuff for the Equestrian Festival for weeks, honestly, at this point. So once it ends, it'll be nice to get back to actually trying to work my way through some of the main quest, I guess. But anyways, just from the perspective of somebody that's only been playing a few months, it feels like there's so much to do. But again, I'm sure if I had been playing for years, I would feel completely differently. Okay, so I did put out a poll on my Instagram story, kind of alluding to the fact that I was considering doing this video, and asked you guys if you had any like topic ideas for me to discuss while I did this. And somebody had asked what I thought of it compared to like my experience with real horses, which I thought was a hilarious question, because because of the nature of this game, really. And there's a lot of things in this game that crack me up, like in the best way possible. I think a great example of that is my second horse after my starter horse was this gray starred apple Ardennes, and I just love him. He was actually the reason why I finally decided to buck up and pay for the subscription to this game. I know the Ardennes is relatively new, right? And I believe I saw an ad for like maybe when he was going to be released or shortly thereafter, and it showed him sitting down in a field with like doing the special trick where the butterfly lands on his nose, and I was like, I think I would like to have that. That is so cute. Like, I think I would like to have that. And then I got the subscription and immediately got that horse because he's so cute. But no, one of my favorite things that like cracks me up in the best way possible about this game is that I can show jump my Ardennes. He's a heavy draft breed, and I can show jump him. And we're not talking just like cross rails. We're talking like these maxed out crazy jumps and combinations that make absolutely no sense. And I'm just galloping around on a heavy draft horse, launching it over these like impossibly tall barriers. And I think that that's amazing and hilarious, and it cracks me up. And then you've got people that are like riding a Tennessee Walker, and they're just like yeeting the Tennessee Walker over fences that would be the equivalent to like over 4 foot, maybe bigger in real life. And they have to be allowed to do that. Like, you can't be able to do the jumping events with some breeds and not other breeds, because then nobody would get the breeds you can't jump. So they all have to be able to do the same thing. I understand, like, from a structural perspective why they have to do it, but man, does it crack me up. And actually, on that note, talking about the jumping cracks me up. Like, the races, I get they're kind of their own unique thing. Like, they're very clearly not intended to be like cross country specifically. I mean, maybe some of them are, but I'm talking just like all of the races in general. They're kind of like their own in-game creation. There's not really a discipline equivalent to them, I don't think. Again, there's like some alluding to them being cross-country, or there's like certain fences that kind of look like, okay, these could hypothetically be cross-country fences, but then like, you know, you're jumping over a car or like flower pots, and you're like, okay, well, that's just for fun. But the show jumping cracks me up in the best way. The courses, who is designing these courses, and have they ever jumped like just the order of the jumps when I first did the equestrian festival, and you know, it kind of gives you the arrow of like which ways you're supposed to turn. I kept thinking there's no possible way that could be the next jump that they want me to go to, and every time I thought that, I was wrong, and that next impossible turn was the turn they wanted you to make. It's just so goofy. You're just like launching horses over these jump at these weird angles, and in my head I'm like, but you can't draw a straight line from jump 1 to jump 2 because my hunter brain is like line diagonal, and Star Stable is like, what are those? And they just like throw jumps wherever they feel like throwing jumps, and it's hilarious and I love it. It's not, you know, like oh, they need to make this more realistic. Like, this game it's a game. It's not intended to be entirely realistic. It just, in my brain, it makes me laugh. I'll just say that. It's very humorous to me, the courses, the show jumping courses, and the way that they're structured. Especially when you're launching draft horses over these jumps. Like, come on, it's funny. It's so funny. It's cute. It's goofy. I enjoy it greatly. And one thing I will say too, even though I just got over saying like, oh, it's not supposed to be entirely realistic, I am super impressed by a lot of the attention to detail on both the tack as well as in the different variations of braiding that you see, especially in the mains. The tails are kind of like, you know, sometimes I see something and I'm like, oh, that's, especially I think it's the Dutch Warmblood has a really nice, like, hunter braided tail variation that actually looks like how you would braid your horse's tail if you were at a hunter jumper show, like a rated hunter jumper show, and it's very impressive. But a lot of the variations in the mane braiding, you've got, you know, I think they do like a waterfall braid on the Frisians, and they've got button braids for the horses that could do dressage, and then they also have the actual like hunter braids on some of the sport horses, which are hard in real life to accomplish, and also I imagine hard to accomplish on a virtual horse with how small and intricate they are. So I definitely commend them for the realism and the variety of like the braiding that goes into some of these horses. I think that's really cool. And then the level of detail on a lot of the English tack has really impressed me, and the differences between dressage saddles and like a close contact saddle or like an eventing saddle. It's really cool, and like they clearly had people that knew the difference between those different types of saddles and executed that. And I mean, again, I don't really have a point of reference to compare this game to, but I think that's pretty cool. They also have like very good attention to detail with the different kinds of like boots and wraps that they have. Like there's they've got like open front jump boots, they've got like normal splint boots, they've got polo wraps, they have standing wraps, which is kind of weird that you can like ride your horse around in standing wraps, but you know what? They have them, so that's cool. But yeah, I definitely commend them for some of like the attention to detail and stuff like that is really cool. Just like something that I didn't expect to get out of like a little horse game that you can play on your phone. So good on them for that. That's pretty cool. And then the wardrobe, I think, just, you know, again, using my own personal horse experience to talk about the wardrobe, I've definitely seen myself reflect kind of the way that I structure my own riding wardrobe reflected in the game, which is the point, right? Like you're supposed to, you know, be able to express your own sense of style through the in-game aesthetics, to use husband Sam's phrase there. And yeah, I've seen myself kind of developing what I like to call a capsule wardrobe in this game, at least in terms of my character. I've kept all of my horses kind of unique in that they all have their own tack that they just kind of like live in. And I don't really switch it up between the horses. I kind of give them a look and they get to live with that look. But for my character, I've kind of developed a capsule wardrobe for her, which is again how I structure my own wardrobe for riding, and in that you get kind of a base set of neutral colored everything. And then you mix and match it depending on the day. So like for my own personal riding wardrobe, I'm a classics girl, so I love the suede knee patch breeches, and I've got maroon, and I've got hunter green, and I've got navy, and I've got black, and I've got like a really pretty dark taupe, and so on and so forth. And then I've got like lots of white base layers and different colored base layers, gray and black, and then vests and sweaters that you can put over that. And that's like kind of what I've been doing inadvertently with my character. Like she's got few different colored breeches, few different colored sweaters, and I just swap them out depending on what horse she's on. So we'll see, maybe that'll change over time as I'm like exposed to more. But I realized after a few weeks of playing and like collecting items, I was like, I'm literally buying my character in the game the same stuff I have in my closet upstairs. Like, what is happening? I need to diversify a little bit, but you like what you like, I guess. And so those are kind of my my thoughts on the game, just based on my personal horse experience. And then I wanted to also share my thoughts on the game based on my model horse hobby experience, which obviously I know so many model horse hobbyists play this game, especially that are like my age or even younger. Our kind of generation, the generation that is, adults in the model horse hobby, younger adults in the model horse hobby. I'll just leave it at that. I know a lot of them, and a lot of who I'm sure are my audience for these videos, you guys all play this game. And, again, the reason why I'm playing this game is because a bunch of my friends play it, and they, would talk about it at shows and stuff, and I was like, I just gotta bite the bullet and see what this is all about. But there's so many model horse hobbyists, there's so much crossover between the model horse hobby and this game. And it's pretty obvious, but I think that obviously a big draw to this game is that you're collecting horses. Like, that's kind of the game. There's plot, and there's a story, and there's stuff to do, and there's training. There's like more to it than just collecting horses. But at the end of the day, that is a big part of the game, is that you're collecting horses. And that is what we do in the model horse hobby, is we collect horses. So I think that kind of mindset of collecting different horses and enjoying different horses and different colors and different breeds is just so similar to the model horse hobby that, maybe that's why there's so many of us that play this game. And, again, I'm new to it. I know that there's lots of hobbies that have been playing this game for years, but I think that mindset of like, we like to collect horses and we enjoy a variety of horses, and learning about different types of horses and appreciating different types of horses for their differences and so on and so forth. I think that mindset is largely similar across both this game and the model horse hobby. And just like the model horse hobby, there's so many breeds and breed types represented in this game, and I can't even pretend like I know all of them, because I don't. I've looked at, the directory and everything and the shops and whatever, so I roughly know what's out there, but I know enough to where I feel comfortable saying that there's such a variety available in this game that you can collect what you like. And, there's plenty to go around. So like if you're a stock horse person, there's plenty of stock horse breeds. And if you're a draft horse person, there's plenty of draft horse breeds, sport horse breeds, pony breeds. Like, there's a little bit of everything. And if you like a little bit of everything, you can collect a little bit of everything. For me right now, I have two of the Lippy, and I have the Ardennes. and then I have my starter horse. And I love the Lipizan. I think it is so pretty. And I did look at the Andalusian and the Lusitanos in this game, and I think the Lippy is so superior to those two models. And that's just my, again, personal opinion. But he's so cool. So I have two. That's, I like congas in the model horse hobby, so maybe that'll translate to this game. It's too early to know, but I do like the Lipizan. He's very cool. And I love Spanish horses. Like, that's one of my favorite things to collect and show in the model horse hobby. So if you like Spanish horses, you can collect virtual ones too, I guess. And that's like exactly what I did here. I liked it, and so to quote TikTok, I just got it in another color. And it's not even that different of a color, because like I said, I have the rose gray, like star-dappled one, and I have her in like the braided variation, and then I got this guy, and they're like pretty darn close to the same color. There's a lot of differences, but they're very similar, so you like what you like, I guess. Oh, and also, I haven't gotten there in my personal Star Stable journey yet. I have not yet experienced an event that has these, but I know that there are magic horses in this game that you can purchase, I think, with specific events, and maybe there's just a few that you can just get. I don't really know. I haven't experienced them in either an event or otherwise yet, but could those be like compared to decos and fantasy horses in the model horse hobby? I don't know. Maybe. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, these are pretty much just decos that people are riding around on. So, food for thought. Okay, and then lastly, last few comparisons to the model horse hobby. All of the mane customizations and tail customizations that you can do when you are like picking out your horse remind me of different molds that have different mane and tail variations, like the Cleveland Bay, or Brishan, or Shannondale, or even Ruffian with like the long short mane and tail, or Latigo with the long short mane and tail. It's just interesting, that comparison, that the changing of the mane and tail is something that both this game and the model horse hobby have. And there's also maybe a minor collectability aspect to some parts of this game. Again, I don't necessarily know, because I understand that some things show up at more than one event, but it seems like, there are certain horses and items that are exclusive to specific events or time periods. So maybe there's like a little bit of, a collectability element that's kind of similar in certain ways to model horse collectability. I think that it matters significantly less in this game if I had to kind of take a gander at that. It doesn't seem like people really care too much. You kind of just do what you like and what you want in the game. But it's interesting to think about, at least as somebody that's coming from the model horse hobby into this game, and not vice versa. Okay, and then we are moving into my last section of discussion topics here, which are literally just random questions that you guys asked me about the game. And again, I know so little. We're just chatting. We're just having a good time. We're taking a breather from the intense model horse content, and we're talking about this little virtual horse game. So please, I'm very new, so take my answers to these with a grain of salt. Someone asked who my favorite character was, and I guarantee you I probably only know a fraction of the characters. I don't know very much about the characters yet. I really like Mrs. Holdsworth because she seems like an adorable, slightly grumpy old woman, and that is who I feel that I am at my core, so I like her. She cracks me up a little bit. I'm to the point in the main quest where, is it Justin is the kid who's the son of the guy at the barn? he's like on an oil rig somewhere. So if that tells you where I'm at with the main quest and what I know and what I don't know, hopefully that helps. So I don't like him very much right now, but maybe that'll change. Hopefully that'll change. I like Mrs. Holdsworth. I like Alex right now. She seems like a pretty cool chick. I'm just riding around on her pony that has like a fiery mane and tail. Who else is there? I guess those are kind of my favorites right now. I don't know, maybe that'll change as time goes on. I like the little weird creature guy that you see when you go to the, like, it feels like it's like heaven. the Cloud Kingdom. I'm not sure what it's called. You get there through like the druid thing in Valedale. I don't know what it's called. But whatever that thing is, he looks like a Pokemon to me. I like him. He makes like squeaky sounds. He's cool. Alright, I'll stop embarrassing myself by attempting to make conversation about characters that I probably know nothing about. Somebody asked what my favorite horse like model or breed was, and I'm probably gonna say right now the Lipizan, but obviously I haven't had as much experience with all of them. I really like him. I like a good chunky Spanish horse, and that's kind of exactly what it is. And I really love the Equestrian Festival color. Whatever it's intended to be. I think it's so cool. Got a little pink snip on his nose, and I had a lot of fun kind of figuring out how I was going to dress this guy up before I got him. And so I actually had all of his tack before I was able to purchase him. And then I got him yesterday, and I was so excited. So anyways, that's probably my favorite. And then I really like the Ardennes. Obviously, I talked about how the like starred apple gray one is the reason why I signed up for the game to begin with. So I really like that. And then as a third favorite, I would probably say the Dutch Warmblood. And from my understanding, those are all like pretty new-ish. Maybe have all come out in like the last year or so. And I don't know, I like them more. They seem more realistic than a lot of the other ones. Again, no experience here, so take that with a grain of salt, but I just really like them. The Dutch Warmblood, I think, is my favorite out of the Warmblood models. I have looked at all of those because I'm a Warmblood girl in real life. That's what I ride and show and whatnot. So I wanted to see how they kind of executed the differences between the Warmblood breeds, which is hard because a lot of those breeds look so similar. Especially the Dutch Warmblood and the Belgian Warmblood, like in real life, they just look very similar. The Sol Francais is kind of a lighter Warmblood mold. The Tricaner tends to be a lighter Warmblood breed. They just have more Arab in their bloodlines than a lot of other Warmbloods. So anyways, but I was just curious to look into those, and in my opinion, I like the Dutch Warmblood the best out of kind of the slew of Warmblood breeds that they have in here. So I'd love to get one of those eventually. That will probably be the next thing that I add. They've got some cool colors too. The Equestrian Festival colors didn't do anything for me on the Dutch Warmblood, and that's why I ended up with a second Lipizan as my most recent acquisition here. But I do really like the Dutch Warmblood. The what is it called? The movements, whatever the technical word is for that, like the walk, trot, canter, the gaits are really nice, I think. At least, again, I'm just comparing it to real life horses and my experience with the real life breed. I know nothing about animation or like accuracy when it comes to that. I'm just merely comparing it to real horses here. So I do really like the Dutch Warmblood, and that will probably be, well, I don't know, because I really want it's a problem, right? It's just like plastic horses, like you can never have enough. I would really like a Bayronne Ardennes or some kind of Dutch Warmblood next, probably. And I talked about kind of how much I like the Baroque saddle, or not the Baroque saddles, but the English saddles. And then I do also really like the Baroque saddles. I have no gauge on whether those are accurate or not. I just think they look like really cool fantasy style tack. And that's appealing to me because I love fantasy books. It's my favorite genre of book, and I like medieval style stuff, and I just think it looks really cool on the appropriate horses. So no gauge on whether that's accurate or not, can't speak to that at all, but I do really like it. I think it's really fun. And that is very nearly it. Someone had asked like what I looked the most forward to in the game, and I kind of talked about like which horses I was the most looking forward to in the game, but I think as far as like what am I looking forward to the most in my experiences, I would say one is just getting further in the main quest and learning more about the game and the game lore, because right now I know so little. Again, like I had said, like I don't know how far I am through the main quest. I have no gauge on how long it is. But I did kind of like share with you guys earlier where I'm at in it. And I can imagine that that's probably not very far. So I'm looking forward to getting further in that once the Equestrian Festival is over and I am not just enamored with all of these races and prizes to be won and goodies to be had that come with the Equestrian Festival. Although I will say I've had so much fun. Like, I had so much fun learning dressage. I know that that's kind of a hot topic, but I had so much fun, like, memorizing the test. I'm such a nerd. I love dressage. I did dressage for years before I kind of found my way back to the hunters. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I get to memorize a dressage test. I haven't used that part of my brain in such a long time. Anyways, what am I looking the most forward to? Definitely getting further in the main quest. I would say that's probably the big thing. In just a few days, the Equestrian Festival is going to be over, so I feel like I'll be able to free up some space in my brain to kind of, and time really, to get back to that main quest line a little bit. And I'm also, and this is like way far out, but I know they do a Halloween event, and I am so looking forward to being able to participate in the Halloween event because I love Halloween. I love Halloween so much. And I know like the model horse hobby goes off for Halloween. Like, there are 3 model horse shows I know of already. We are in April, my friends, and I already know of 3 Halloween themed model horse shows that I'm going to be trying to go to. So I'm already a part of one hobby that absolutely goes feral for Halloween, but I know that Star Stable does a Halloween event, and I'm really excited to participate in the Halloween event because I love the spooky, and I love like spooky fall aesthetics. I always decorate my house like a crazy person for Halloween, and I just love it. Like, I love the rain, and I love the pumpkins, and I love the spooky lights and everything. And yeah, so I'm very excited to participate in the Halloween event this year. I don't obviously have no experience with what that's like or what there is to do, but I am pumped. Hopefully I'll have like the entire map unlocked by the time that comes around. Because I didn't, fun story, I didn't have the entire map unlocked. I still don't, but I had even less of it unlocked when the Equestrian Festival started. I couldn't get to Jorvik Stables or like the city, the Jarlaheim city, or any of that when the Equestrian Festival started. I didn't have any of that unlocked yet. I hadn't built that bridge. You have to build a bridge or whatever to get here. And I hadn't done that yet. So I like showed up at the Moorland location on the first day, and I was like, this is it? This is it? Where are all of the like the races, and where's the dressage? And I was so confused. And then I had to watch a couple YouTube videos, and I figured out, oh my gosh, I haven't unlocked the part of the map where like the main location is. So I had to build that bridge before I could actually participate in the bulk of the Equestrian Festival. So that's my fun beginner story for you guys. And yeah, I'm very excited to participate in Halloween. Hopefully I will have everything unlocked at that point and I will not have a similar experience in October. But yeah, that is about all I have for you guys. I have so much enjoyed my Star Stable adventure so far, as short as it has been. It's super fun, and I'm sure, you know, there's going to be a time when I'm not spending as much time playing this game, but right now I am totally enjoying the experience and learning and just goofing around and feeling like a kid again, honestly. This is bringing back like a lot of my childhood memories of playing horse games with my friends in the basement on, you know, our ancient family PC and stuff like that. So my inner child is healing while playing Star Stable, and it's been really fun. I also apologize if you made it this far and you've listened to my voice for this long. God bless you. I have really bad seasonal allergies right now, so I'm especially stuffed up. So I mean, if you're still here, you toughed it out and you dealt with it, so that's on you. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little break in content from the super intense model horse hobby stuff. It's almost representative of how Star Stable has been in my life, how this video has been to my YouTube content. Just like a breather, just something different that still kind of feels like it's in the same category of hobby and enjoyment, but that is a nice breather from the intensity that the model horse hobby can bring. That's been my experience, at least. So I hope y'all enjoyed as I talked very long about Star Stable and this silly virtual horse game, but I've enjoyed it, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next one where we will most definitely be back to the plastic horse content. I will see you guys later.